It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Gweilo in Hong Kong. Now, they've been releasing quite a few beers in the UK as of late. I've had a few of them. I think I'm pronouncing it right, Gweilo. This is their peanut butter and raspberry jam pale ale. It's coming in a 440ml can, 20 IBUs, and the ABV is 4.9%. There's a look. Available in Sainsbury's. It's currently on offer if you go into Sainsbury's. It's £2.25 a can, which I think is pretty decent. Of course, if it's right up my street. We'll get into this. We'll enjoy it. We'll try and enjoy it. And it's a limited batch. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. Whenever I hear raspberry jam, I always think the beer's going to pour out red. I know it's a pale ale. I know it's either kind of like it's a seesaw, isn't it? You're either up in the air on a seesaw or you're on the ground. Is it pale ale? Is it raspberry? If it's real raspberry, then it's going to be red. So this indicates straight away to me that it's probably going to be a raspberry flavouring. There's no way the beer would be this colour if you actually added raspberries to the beer. It would be red. So my Inspector More skills out of the way. Good levels of carbonation. It's a hazy amber coloured beer with a one finger white head. The head looks like it wants to stay around for a little bit, which is good. If the head fizzed away very quickly, then my head would probably drop a bit and I'd start to look a little bit sad, but it's looking okay. It's looking okay. So it looks like an unfiltered, well, I don't think it's can conditioned. I think it's just definitely an unfiltered pale ale from Hong Kong. It's contract brewed in the UK. There's no way that this beer would be made in Hong Kong and then shipped over to the UK just to go in Sainsbury's. So it's a Hong Kong company that we contract brew their beer somewhere. I don't know, actually. If you know this, where do Gweilo from Hong Kong contract brew their beer for the UK? I'd love to know. Comment in the comments box. So slow moving carbonation, hazy looking beer. There's no lumps and chunks. There's no big bits and pieces floating around in this glass of beer. Let's get the aroma. It smells like cookies and cream. It smells pastry-like. If you told me this was a cookies and cream pale ale, I'd believe you. It's quite cookie dough like. It's got to be the peanut butter. It's got to be that peanut butter then. But it's giving cookie dough. We've all been to these cookie dough biscuit places. They're all over the UK. They're all over Europe. They're all over America. You know them soft biscuits? They're like expensive unless you buy them in a supermarket at 5 o'clock in the afternoon when they got the orange or yellow sticker on them. You can buy them for about 30p then for 5 if you go the right time of day. But if you buy them super fresh, it's got that super fresh kind of cookie dough. Millie's cookies, I think that's what they're called. Aroma to them, like a white and milk chocolate chip cookie aroma. Not much in the case of raspberry. There's not much raspberry coming through. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's super dry. not a jacket or a t-shirt or a pair of jeans. It's not that super dry. But it's super dry in the mouth. It kind of dries your mouth really quickly. There's a little bit of raspberry coming through on the taste. There's a little bit of that kind of Millie's cookies, cookie dough coming through. But there's more peanut butter in the taste. So I'm getting raspberry jam, peanuts, rather than peanut butter, peanuts, and cookie dough. In terms of the pale ale aspect of the beer, it's just a base beer. I'd be surprised if there's any real hoppage going on here whatsoever. With the price of the hops at the moment, the hops are very, very expensive. Brewers are looking at other ways to flavour their beer. We are definitely in some kind of strange place, I'd say, with beer at the moment, where they're brewing base malt pale ales, and rather than adding hops, they're adding these flavourings, these peanut butters, these raspberry jam flavours to the beers. It's probably an awful lot cheaper to do, in truth. A base pale ale with no hops with just grist is very cheap. Add some flavourings to that, add some concentrate, some raspberry or some peanut, and you're laughing all the way to the bank. Sainsbury's selling this for £2.25 a can. The brewer must be making good money. The supermarket must be making good money. It's almost like when a supermarket used to produce, or they still do, you know, your budget bitters. You can get like in Lidl, I think it's called Hatherwood bitter. Or in Tesco, it's Tesco bitter. I know in Sainsbury's it's called Parkins bitter. You can pick up 4 cans of that Parkins bitter in Sainsbury's. There's about 4% ABV for about £2 for 4 cans. And it's all malt, it's all grist, same as this. It's an all malt, all grist beer. But they're selling you 1 can here for £2.25, nearly the same price as 4 cans of the Parkins bitter in just a couple of kind of meters down the aisle. The difference with this is that it's raspberry added and peanut butter, and it's craft beer. That's the only difference I can see from a can of Parkins Best Bitter here and a Parkins Best Bitter that's been flavoured with artificial kind of ice cream concentrates. But I don't actually mind this one, in honesty. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I've had worse beers. I think the question I need to ask myself is that I need to put myself in the eyes of the person who has decided to look at this beer in Sainsbury's, pick it up, read the label, peanut butter and raspberry jam, and go, actually, that appeals to me. That appeals to me. I like the sound of that. That's worth a try. So I'm putting myself in that position of that person going, actually, I quite like the sound of that. That sounds quirky and nice. And they, you know, it's doing exactly what it says on the tin for these people. It tastes like peanut butter. It tastes like raspberry jam. If that's what you want to drink, if that's what you want to order and buy and enjoy, this is completely up to you. It's completely up to you. You enjoy your beer. But on a personal level, I don't really like the dryness that these beers with the artificial ice cream concentrates and all of the flavourings that they use in these beers. I don't like the way that they all seem to dry your throat. It's like an artificial drying that for me is not refreshing. I don't find it refreshing one bit. In fact, I want to drink a cup of tea and refresh myself that way. It's one of the better ones. It's one of the more kind of executed and better flavoured beers out there. I'm not standing here saying it's excellent. I'm not standing here saying that I would buy it again. I wouldn't buy it again. I wouldn't, to be honest with you. So how do I rate it? Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? How do I rate this one? Because it's not as if the brewer's lying. You know, they're telling you it's peanut butter and raspberry jam. It's not as if they're like trying to mislead you. It's money in your pocket, isn't it? Whether you want to put your hand in your pocket, use your bank card or your small change to buy this beer. And if you're happy with that, then you're happy with that. But it's not really for me. It's not really for me, but at the same time, it's a better executed job of all of these kind of like concentrated beers than I've had. It's a better example of a ice cream concentrate flavoured beer. It's a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.